out. Touchdown. Are you kidding me? How about that?
Sunrise on the plains of Alabama, signifying the start of a football Saturday in the lovely little village of Auburn, hometown to the beloved Tigers. The day is filled with tailgating shared amongst the generations, and the anticipation of game day reaches a frenzy during the traditional Tiger Walk, where there is universal agreement. It is truly great to be an Auburn Tiger. Part of the crowd of 87,000 plus on hand here at Jordan-Hare Stadium in the city of Auburn, Alabama. War Eagle indeed, as the Tennessee Volunteers come to town for the first time in a number of years, only the 10th time ever that the Volunteers have made an appearance in Jordan-Hare. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS, and this afternoon it's the SEC East against the SEC West, the Volunteers against the Tigers. One of the grand traditions in college football, the appearance of Nova, the Eagle mascot, this moments ago. Responds as one would expect. And first on the field, the Volunteers of Tennessee. Head coach, Philip Fulmer. Off the disappointing loss at home to the Florida Gators and the traditional walk of the Auburn Tigers. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. We feature two disappointed teams this afternoon, though the discontent a little stronger in the hills of Tennessee than here on the plains of Auburn. The Tigers lost at home, a heartbreaker last week to LSU, but they take comfort in the knowledge that one loss is not a season ruin, not in the SEC. On the other hand, for the Tennessee Volunteers, 1-2 start for the second year in a row, humiliation at the hands of Florida for the second year in a row. Now, Volunteer loyalists say, hey, we started 1-2 last year, got to 2-2, made it to the SEC championship game. Here's the difference. Last week in Game 4, they were at home against Arkansas State. Today, they're at Auburn. They've still got to go to Georgia and play Alabama in October. For more on the Volunteers, let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Vern, Phil Fulmer was extremely vocal this week. It started immediately after the game and continued through Tuesday. He not only blamed himself for the loss, but he defended himself, his coaches, and his players.
As I told our football team, that loss is on me. I'm a big boy, broad shoulders, I can handle it. Obviously, our team was either uptight or something, because that wasn't us.
We've won 148 football games in my time here at Tennessee and lost a little bit less than that, and a lot less than that, actually. And we didn't all of a sudden get stupid. I do believe in this football team. I'm very committed to this football team as to how they've gone about their business and preparing. The simple matter of the fact is we've got to play better in our ball games.
The side of Phil Fulmer we have not seen in a while. I had a chance to catch up with him earlier today. Coach, a lot of frustration, a lot of disappointment this week. How has the team responded?
Well, I think they've responded well. We'll find a lot more about that when we get out here and get a chance to play. It's a young football season yet. We started very similar to last year when we played for the SEC championship in the championship game. There's no guarantees of that, but this team has a good spirit about it, and we just need to go and play well. We really haven't played our best yet.
Well, Gary Danielson, how do you think they will play today?
Well, nobody knows, I don't think. I don't even think Phil Fulmer knows. You know, a year ago when this happened, he handed it to his offensive coordinator, a veteran, David Cutcliffe. He doesn't have David, and he gave it to his senior quarterback, Eric Ainge, and Eric Ainge is gone. I think the best strategy for Tennessee, of course, don't turn the ball over, but hand it to your defense. You got a lot of solid football players in the defensive line that can win games on the road. At linebacker, players that can win games on the road. And they have an emerging playmaker in Eric Berry that can make plays all over the field and could make the big play that Tennessee's looking for. And Vern, I would not be surprised if that happens on defense or offense.
Eric Berry was a high school quarterback as well as defensive back. Now for Auburn, no question they've been fueled thus far by their defense.
Oh, and I think that's kind of the story it is for Tommy Tuberville. He's got a formula. Good defense is part of it. Running the ball is part of it. But in the new spread, you must have a quarterback that can throw the ball. Chris Todd must come through. This is the SEC. If you're going to go to this type of offense and you're going to spread them out all over the field, you have to have at least an above-average passing game. So Chris Todd is the key player today for this Auburn offense.
This game and all SEC college football games brought to you in crystal clear CBS high definition. Slightly overcast skies. We've got a temperature of 80 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 7, and partly sunny the continued forecast. Auburn won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half. They lead. This is the 50th meeting between these two. Auburn trying to make it 4 in a row. Morgan Hull, number 37, will kick off. And Dennis Rogan, number 41, the deep man. It bounces in front of Rogan, taken at the 10. And he is going to be down at the 25-yard line. And let's check the lineups presented by Nissan. Jonathan Crompton, last week 162 yards, 1 interception that came just before halftime, and it was a drive killer. Scott, Parker, McNeil, McClendon, and Foster up front. Taylor, Cooper, and Foster in the backfield. Luke Stock at the tight end. Gerald Jones, perhaps the key on offense, number 4 for the Volunteers. Now Stocker goes tight to the left side. I formation on first down. Arian Foster cuts it back to the right as he heads left initially and picks up about 3. Craig Stevens with the tackle. Defensively for the Auburn Tigers, front 4, Coleman, Tez Doolittle, first start in 6 years here. More on that later. Marks and Goggins, who's played very well. A change of middle linebacker where Bynes gets the start for Trey Blackman, Stevens and Evans on the outside. And the secondary, Powers, McNeil, Etheridge, and Walter McFadden. 2 backs again, and now Foster goes wide to the left. Here's Crompton across the middle, incomplete. 3rd down. Intended for Gerald Jones and Craig Stevens, number 46, defending.
And visiting with the Auburn defensive coordinator, Paul Rhodes, he said it's very apparent that Tennessee likes to get rid of the ball quickly in their passing game. A lot of short, quick passes. I think early game plan for Auburn is take those or at least challenge those quick throws for Tennessee.
From the spread on 3rd down and 7, Crompton 5 yards back and McNeil. Auburn looks like they will send only 4. They do. Here's Crompton, hit, throws it behind Arian Foster. The pressure got there.
Well, pick a guy. Vern called it for you. Front four, they're only rushing four. Is it Goggins? Is it Marks? Is it Doolittle? Or is it Coleman? It's pressure, and that's the key to football, guys. Whether it's the NFL or college, if four guys can put pressure on the quarterback, you've got a pass rush.
Robert Dunn returned one earlier this season, 66 yards. First punt return for a touchdown in 144 games. This one high and short from Chad Cunningham. And Again, an early bad punt. Last time it was a kickoff up to the 50. This one, it was forced a bad punt by a rush. A 28-yard punt. Look at the pressure inside. That kind of short legs it. Short legs it for the punter that time, Cunningham. And a 9-yard punt, 8-yard punt. 28.
Anything under 40,
Well, Tennessee is 118th out of 119.
Yeah, they need their
Division I schools in net punt.
When's Colquitt coming back, huh?
Week after next. Their net punt is 22 yards. There's only one team worse. And let's check in with the quarterback now. Chris Todd won the battle with Cody Burns and has started. This is his third game in succession. Cody Burns has not played in the last two. Zimba, Green, Pugh, Isom, and Bosley, the offensive line. Smith and Billings, two of the wideouts. Dunn is another. And here's the inside play across the 50 to the 49. Rod Smith is tackled by Adam Myers-White. Volunteer defense, the front four particularly good. So is the defensive backfield. Let's check this volunteer group now. Brown, Bolden, Williams, and Ayers up front. We've got Myers-White, Wilson, and McCoy. And in the secondary, you can guess. Third down. Todd, pressured, fires, caught, short of the first down.
Bad play there.
And now you don't have to guess anymore. Here's the secondary.
I think it was Montez Billings. As we look at the starters, Willingham, Berry, Morley, and Rogan, the regular group back there. But Billings had the ball right at the marker, and then he tried to reverse his field. He should have just known it was third and short, just fall forward. Let's see if it's Billings. It is. Now watch, just turn around and fall forward. No, that can cost you a first down.
Now they did get the first down, so they gave him forward progress on the play.
Remember, that's reviewable.
Yeah, I thought he was short there.
I thought he tried to get back. I can't really understand that. He ran the ball backwards.
Play clock. Well, they were saying reset it. Now the flip out of the backfield. Ben Tate almost breaks the tackle. He's down at the 42-yard line. And the stop made by middle linebacker Alex Wilson, number 35. Brad Lester probably will not play. Listed as a starter, though he and Tate share time. Lester with a sprained neck 2 weeks ago and a knee sprain last week in the loss to LSU.
Yeah, here's the bear look. Means three defensive linemen inside. The two big defensive ends, one a defensive end and one a linebacker. Carty gives it that pressure look.
All kind of signals being flashed in on the Auburn sideline. Here's Todd, rolls. Goes deep, double coverage. And it's going to be incomplete, intended for Billings, deep down the right side.
John Chavis, defensive coordinator, happy with his defense last week against Florida. But you can see right away, comes with the bear look against this spread. There's John, and rushes 6 players. Now, Chris Todd cannot roll to the right and throw deep to the right. The free safety will eat that up every time.
Third down. Well, there's all kinds. They're causing a breeze on that sideline.
There's more stuff going on there in the spin room after a debate.
Todd back. This is going to be holding. Todd fires it. It's caught by Mario Fannin, number 27. It would be good for the first down if the play stands. D'Angelo Willingham holding. Well, Mario Fannin was a running back last year, Gary.
Yeah, and we'll probably see him maybe in some spots on the running back position again. Matched up this time with Rico Carty. That's what the spread actually designs to give you those mismatches Tennessee does not go to the dime much, so you got linebackers matched up on receivers. But then again, if you're Tennessee, Fanning's kind of a running back receiver anyway, so it's not a bad matchup.
Holding call against the Auburn Tigers, so that makes it a 3rd and 16.
I think I called him McCarty, and it is McCoy. Should be able to get it after 2 games, shouldn't I?
Here's Dunn. Gets the handoff. He wants to throw, and he's got a man deep. But he can't get there. Oh, my goodness. Rod Smith was 5 yards behind the nearest defender. And the pressure got to Dunn, so he could not let it fly. Willingham let Smith go.
Yeah, that's a very strange call to me, Vern, that it was 3rd and very long. They've got 3 deep safeties back there. They're playing Tampa 2, and it almost works.
Yes.
I mean, it's really not a good call in my mind in that situation. I mean, you know it's going to be a pass. You know they got to get big yardage. Halfback pass just doesn't seem logical to work, and it didn't.
Clinton Durst on the punt. He missed last week's game here against LSU because of illness. Gerald Jones is going to let this one bounce, and it does.
It hit him
right
on
off the head.
Yeah.
That's using your head. Out of bounds at the 5.
And I think it hit Gerard
Powers,
yeah.
Yes. Time call. We'll be right back. And look who's here. Who's got an off week?
Well, you know, if you're looking for a leader, you might as well get the best.
There was no question of leadership when he played.
Nor now, I guess.
No. 1st down and 10. Here's Crompton handing off to Foster, who comes right. I wonder if he had gone left, if he might have picked up a little more. Let's go back,
I
Gary.
think he had maybe a little bit more, but Vern, you said he was wide open, Rod Smith on the play. Now remember, this is 3rd and 15. Here's the 1st down marker way back here. What is the Tennessee defensive backs doing? Freeze it right there. That is a touchdown. That would have been a knife in the heart. That's lack of discipline back there, and that could have cost this Tennessee team a big one. Was it Rogan or Willingham? I think it was Willingham that time. Holy cow, a disaster could have been.
And Dunn could not get rid of it. Here's the handoff to Foster again. Works right for a 1st down at the 29-yard line. And let's go back for the first time this afternoon, not the last. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, I got a blockbuster to start. Now, this is an option after Ole Miss had taken a 1-touchdown lead. Percy Harvin takes it in, but Cantrell Lockett would block the extra point. It's 31-30 Ole Miss, 2 and change remaining, and Ole Miss is punting the ball away to Florida right now.
Oh, my.
Well, after Thursday night, I mean, are we surprised by anything anymore?
Yeah, that's right. How about Mike Riley in Oregon State? Across the middle, tipped, incomplete. That was something.
Yeah.
USC at Oregon State.
See, let me just tell you, this just doesn't happen by accident here for Auburn. Since Tennessee uses a lot of short passing games, remember the passes that were knocked down almost for touchdowns last week, now they realize that Tennessee throws the ball over the middle. When you throw the ball over the middle, you're taught to find those lanes. And that time, those defensive linemen this week have been well schooled to get your hands up on those short passes.
Crompton off to an 0 for 3 start. On 2nd down and 10, hands it off. They pick up 4 to the 34. Well, the SEC East, of course, Florida thumped Tennessee 30-6 last week. Vanderbilt. How about that? Commodores 4-0. Georgia, of course, with a big game tonight.
They have nice hotels in there.
They do.
We've never been there, so we might be going pretty soon.
You're pulling for a Nashville game?
I'm not pulling for anything. I'm just saying I've never been there. Just tell me how it's going to be. I'm ready.
I might get you into the Grand Ole Opry.
All right.
I could probably accomplish that. 3rd down. 3rd and 7. Crompton across the middle. Oh, he had Jones.
Sure did.
Whoa. Gerard Powers covering. Gerald Jones open, pass high.
Yeah, and Crompton's limping pretty bad going off the field this time. He did a good job of reading this. First guy wasn't open. Second guy wide open and does not throw it accurately. Remember now, Crompton, I wonder if he did get hit on this one. Let's see. Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he? And I think he tweaked that ankle that was bothering him because he limped off.
Second punt now for Chad Cunningham. First one, 28 yards. And this one,
very
returnable.
low.
Yes.
Yeah, very low.
Well, fair catch called. I thought Dunn might have a chance to counterpunch. That's 36 yards. That's a little better. Crompton has had a bad ankle much of the season. Looks like he tweaked it on the last tackle. Down the SEC this week, a legend in the SEC, Larry Munson, decided to retire midweek.
45-40, Lindsey shot 45-50, 45-40, run Lindsey, 25-20, 50, 10, 5, Lindsey stop, Lindsey stop, Lindsey stop.
And our best wishes to Larry, who turns 86 this week. The Commodores, top 25, first time since 1984. And the Dogs go back to black. They're at home against Alabama tonight. And Nova, the War Eagle, looking over here. Tommy Tuberville actually asked the crowd to dress in blue tonight, or today, but he didn't ask until Thursday night. And the quarterback, and they took a direct snap to Fannin, who comes left and doesn't get much at all.
Well, you can see that, Auburn, who has not been able to get the running game going enough in the spread. Chris Todd is not a good enough runner to be a threat at all. That even Tony Franklin, the architect of the spread, who in his vision of it would never go under center. Look at this. Auburn is going to go under center.
And it hasn't happened very often this year. Here's Todd. Straight running play, left side. Ben Tate. Take a look at the number of snaps this year and the number of times they've gone under center.
Right. 5 of those were actually kneel downs, and 10 of them total. And I think if you don't, like I've talked about on this offense forever, if you don't have a running quarterback or an elite passing quarterback, I just don't know where you turn to.
Well, their running quarterback is actually on the bench, Cody Burns. They go with a 2-back set here. And Ben Tate breaks a couple of tackles and is out of bounds with a first down at the 46. That is a gain of 14. Chris Walker, Demetrius Morley were there for the tackle.
Yeah, this is a flashback to Auburn football since forever, basically. I formation. That could have been any of the great tailbacks that have run for here at Auburn, and it just looked just like that.
Looked like Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown for a moment. First down and 10.
Another direct snap.
Mario Fannin in, gets the direct snap, bounces left, and picks up 4.
See, this is almost the wild hog now. This is like, a lot of teams are featuring. If you don't have the running quarterback and you want to run part of the spread, this is what you turn to. That's what, remember when I said, might see Eric Berry doing something like this with Gerald Jones. Direct snap. Now you've got that numbers game because you just can't get your quarterback hit. Here we go again under center.
Yep. You and I saw Houston Nutt run that play for Ole Miss at Florida this earlier today.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Motion left tackle. Looked like Lee Zimba moved. That'll cost him 5.
5-yard penalty. Still second out.
If I was going to put a name to Tuberville, one word, if you were going to think of one word for Tommy Tuberville, I would put the word confident next to him. Wouldn't you? I mean, he just feels good about himself, feels good about his decisions, doesn't seem to question himself. Let's go, boys. Let's go play.
Yep.
Make the decision. Let's go.
Second down. Tate coming left. Bounce backwards at the 40. Well, we asked Gerard Powers to describe him.
He's a confident guy, I'll tell you that.
He didn't say cocky, but it was close.
No. And now if I was going to go to the other side,
right,
being around now for Coach Fulmer, I would say resilient. It would be the word I would come up with. He can take a lot. He can coach under pressure, and he doesn't overreact. And I think that's a strength in a coach, too.
Third down now. Earlier this week, Tommy Tuberville said, I can sympathize with the noise that's being made in Tennessee. There was some noise here back in 2003, and a guy named Bobby Petrino was involved. There's the catch by Robert Dunn. Nice route, and an equally nice pass from Chris Todd.
Yeah, Tennessee did not have the right look on. They ran a player on the field late. I'm not sure if they ran on the 11th player or the 10th player, but they did want a guy on late. Now look at, they got 4 here. 3 there. And then they run another one on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that was right.
Here's Spannon. He's not Darren McFadden yet.
No, but look at it. It's gaining positive yards. Yeah. And this is a team that just has not run the ball well. You know, they ran the ball for 2.7 yards per carry against LSU.
Tony Franklin, the new offensive coordinator. Jay Tate, a writer for the Montgomery Advertiser, said he's the master of mea culpa. He decided after 3 games to move up to the box. He said he had called too many plays from the script after their loss. He told us yesterday he's cut 40% of the offense after the Mississippi State game, which they won 3-2. He cut 20% more this week, and he said he wished he had passed the ball more against LSU.
Right.
Interesting guy.
Well, listen, putting in a new offense is a challenge. Doing it as radically as this is, from where Auburn was a year ago to this, is more than a challenge. I mean, this is like going, you know, Auburn and Michigan are trying to do this. This is very difficult.
Second down. Player injured, lift off.
Uh-oh, bobbled the snap there.
Yeah, and Tate is jammed up as a result. It'll be 3rd and looks like 5. And again, let's go back to New York. Once again, here's Tim Brando.
Gary, Vern, evidently Urban Meyer's team didn't get the memo from the state of Oregon. On 4th and a yard and a half, they run the power play with Tebow. The lack of a running game really rears its ugly head for Florida. Ole Miss with possession. They just need to take a knee, and it's theirs. Gentlemen, back to you.
Wow. Huge.
SEC football.
Well, it's almost NCAA football now, Vern. I mean, it's getting to the point where the difference between the first 10 and the next 75 is almost nothing.
Todd, caught by Tommy Trott, listed as a tight end, really split out most of the time, and he makes the first down grab in front of Adam Myers-White, number 48. Well, we asked Tommy Tuberville why the change. He had Al Borges in here running the traditional 2-back set.
Right.
And he said, first, we needed a few more points.
Right.
But he was very explicit. They did it for recruiting.
Yeah, they needed to get more receivers and quarterbacks. And under the system they were running before, they just couldn't attract them.
Final score, Ole Miss 31, Florida 30. And they measure. Auburn now 4 of 5 on 3rd downs.
Well, I will continue to say now you know, Tennessee needs a stop here, but if you're in the spread and you can't throw, you got to get out of the spread. And Florida needs to start throwing. Auburn needs to start throwing.
Todd, nope. Pre-snap whistle. Matt Austin is our referee today.
Prior to the snap, false start, 57 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the right guard, Baron Isom.
Yes.
It's B-Y-R-O-N, pronounced Baron.
Yeah, Chaz Ramsey was the starter at that spot, had back surgery, and that's why Isom's in there. But, you know, still enough. I think going under center is causing these false starts. You practice this spread and no huddle offense all the time, and now you go back under the center. It's different for the linemen.
Look at this. They got 4 of them winding up and delivering. Here's Todd. Fannin breaks the tackle, goes right. Can't break the second surge, and he is caught short of the 20. Take a look at this and who's hot, who's not here.
Yeah, well, nobody knows, but you don't often see a number 64 signaling in plays. The reason is that in the offense, in Franklin's offense, the offensive linemen look over for the block and pass protection and play also. So they have a lineman signaling in stuff. That was good defense by Tennessee. When you said a surge or a wave, that's what they got to do. They got to run to the ball, and they did it on that one for Tennessee.
Out of the gun again. 4 wides. Second down, 11. Todd across the middle, man open, done. Touchdown, Auburn.
Well, Dunn had Eric Berry on an island that time. Berry was back there with so much field to cover, and he got inside of him. But either way he went, outside or inside, Berry was in trouble on that. Boy, that was just so easy.
Wes Byram with the extra point, up and good, and Tommy Tuberville celebrated his 50th birthday last week. 54th, actually. He likes for me to shave the 4 years off. Dunn with the touchdown. Todd with the throw. Now it's time for the playbook presented by the Hartford.
Let's make a correction. It was Demetrius Morley, the safety right there, that ran the play. My telestrator's acting a little bad again. He has help to his right. You can't get beat to your right. So you got to help one way. He gets turned around very badly, and Morley gets beat into the middle.
Robert Dunn with the touchdown off the throw from Todd. And defensive lapse. Auburn goes 11 plays, 69 yards, an 18-yard touchdown pass. Todd on the drive, 4 for 4 for 42 yards. There's Robert Dunn. Dennis Rogan is the deep back. Morgan Hull will kick off again. 2:51 to go, first quarter. Rogan at the 20. And he's down at the 31-yard line. Jason King with the tackle. Monday on CBS, Charlie Sheen and John Cryer star in TV's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men. Don't miss a new episode Monday at 9, 8 Central on CBS.
Well, Vern, the last time we saw Crompton go off the field, he was 0 for 4 with a gimpy leg. Let's see what happens.
Not having a stellar season thus far.
He's not gimpy, but he's still 0 for 4.
Here's Jones, caught and dropped. Now Tracy Wilson telling us during the timeout that while he was on the sidelines, he did not receive any medical attention, so apparently good to go.
That time this defense read the pulling tackle right there. Yeah, my player's having a bad day here. I'm gonna stay away from it, okay?
You know, I wish that was something new, but it's not. Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. 5 first downs to only 1 for the Volunteers. Montario Hardesty. See that Auburn has given up only 3 points in the first half this season. Quarterback draw, Crompton. Cuts back to his left. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And he picks up about 10. It'll make 3rd and 5.
Well blocked downfield. This offensive line needs to come through, make some plays. This time the lead back comes in and makes a block. Crompton smartly follows, folds behind a couple more blocks, and makes a positive play to get it 3rd and medium.
3rd and 6. This Auburn team is really good defending 3rd downs. Tied for 2nd best in the NCAA. On 3rd and 6, Crompton back. Flips it out left side. He's got a man open. And that should be good for the first down as Montario Hardesty makes the catch and moves the chain. Jones, Gerald.
Kind of a play this time. They wide side of the field. Jones is inside and just kind of sneaks out. And it was a one side of the field read that time for Crompton. Very well designed by the Tennessee staff and gave on 3rd down. You know, the play before was the big one, so they could throw a short pass like that.
That's Crompton's first completion of the day. Now, Stocker, the tight end, is the lead blocker for Hardesty, who gets loose and rumbles inside the 35 near the 34-yard line. Zach Etheridge, number 4, makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 16 yards.
Hardesty made a great cut. Offensive line did a good job full blocking. See McNeil block one way. McClendon comes around. Look at that jump right in the hole. He runs right by Josh Bynes, number 17, and makes a huge play. That's that downhill running that LSU was so effective against Auburn in the second half.
Hardesty gets a chance to take a breath Arian Foster is the more complete back, and he's back in there now. The senior
Another mistake.
Yep.
Another mistake.
Movement on the right side for Tennessee.
Prior to the snap, false start, 79 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Guys, Arian Foster has been dealing with a sore right knee for most of this season. On the sideline, it's obvious he walks with a slight limp. I spoke to offensive coordinator Dave Clawson before the game about it. He said he doesn't think it's affecting his play, but he is certainly not 100%.
All right, Trace, thank you. 7-0 here. This could be the final play of the first quarter if they get the ball snapped. Cooper and Foster in the eye behind Crompton. Play fake. Crompton, right side, behind the receiver.
Mental mistake.
Yep.
Quarterback's throwing an outcut. The receiver's running a takeoff. Hard enough to complete them when you know or both are on the same page. Another mental mistake for Tennessee.
Denarius Moore, the intended receiver. Philip Fulmer might like to have had Peyton Manning throwing that.
Wouldn't we all?
That's the end of the first quarter with the score 7-0 Auburn. We'll return to Jordan-Hare Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. Volunteers of Tennessee, the Tigers of Auburn, 87,000 plus at Jordan-Hare on the campus of Auburn University. Only the 10th time they've met here. Auburn's defense now facing Tennessee's best offensive thrust.
I don't know if this is the best place, but it ties for the best, I have to say.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of teams that tie for this.
It's a pretty decent setting, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it sure is.
Out of the gun, Crompton back. He's 1 for 6, make it 2 for 7. And that'll be down to the 30-yard line. And it'll be third down now for the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee, of course, trying to come back from that humiliation, the loss at home against Florida. Florida loses today. But let's talk about what you've seen out of Auburn, first of all, in this ball.
I think they're improving. They're getting more comfortable. Chris Todd is getting more comfortable throwing the ball. If he can continue to make plays in the passing game, the run game will then start to happen from the spread. But you can see Tuberville has had his impact on it. He wants to be able to run the ball.
And offensively for the Volunteers, here's Crompton, nobody open, so he throws it away. My goodness.
Well, actually, he did have somebody wide open. He misread it, unless he's not supposed to throw a touchdown pass right down the middle. I mean, I don't know what the read is, to be honest.
Well, he was distracted by the cheerleader.
But there was nobody in the middle of the field. He could have laid it up there and made a big play.
So that brings up fourth down. And Daniel Lincoln, who had such a great start a year ago, but off to a tough start here. He was 1 for 4 and, of course, missed the one at UCLA that was so costly. Here is Daniel Lincoln, the sophomore from Ocala, Florida. 47 yards. Plenty of distance. And it's good. So the Volunteers, yes.
Big points. That
most effective drive of the Tennessee offensive series so far. Daniel Lincoln, 47 yards, 3 points, Tennessee. Well, fortunately, only 3 points this time. I would say I could do that too, but I
don't know.
I don't want to stretch credibility here. Crompton leads them to Lincoln's 47-yard field.
I read an interesting quote, and I think Florida's kind of realizing this right now. Andy Staples said, "The meek may inherit the earth, but they will not win the SEC." I think Florida may agree with that right now.
Short kickoff. Taken and returned by Auburn out to the 36-yard line, and we've got another moment to go back to New York for this Liberty Mutual update. Once again, here's Tim Brando.
Let me take you back retro, Vern. This was a game I believe you called a time or two. Arkansas and Texas back in the old Southwest Conference days with a quarterback named Colts going 8 yards to Jordan Shipley. And, of course, one of the teams, bottom feeders of the SEC, that really experiencing growing pains, Arkansas. Compare the first year for Petrino to that of Houston Nutt. Back to you.
Timmy, some of us of a certain vintage recall Texas and Arkansas 15-14 in 1969. There's a fumble. And Tate picks it up, and now we're going to have a penalty as the flag is thrown near side.
Yeah, probably on Robert Dunn holding that's another quarterback center exchange problem. They could not have got a lot of live snaps with this under center. And remember, last year, Jason Bosley, number 68, was actually the center when they snapped it to the quarterback in the tee.
Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Yeah, it probably was Dunn. That's what they called it, Dunn. That play took so long that Dunn was out there working, and he's got the big hand under the shoulders right there, and that is going to be called, and it was called.
Well, Ryan Pugh is now in at center, and Bosley's at right tackle. That change was made on the Wednesday prior to the Southern Mississippi game because Bosley was having some difficulty with the snaps out of the spread offense, and Pugh had played this system in high school for Rush Probst at Hoover High School. And Probst, one of the acolytes of Tony Franklin, who made Tony Franklin a wealthy man by subscribing to his Tony Franklin system. And here's the handoff to the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Robert Ayers, number 91.
I think that was a designed quarterback run. Last week against LSU, Chris Todd ran the ball 10 times for -1 yard. You can see that you have to be able to throw with Chris Todd.
And out of the spread now, 2nd down and 17. Tennessee brings 4, 1 out of a 2-point stance, and the pass is complete to Rod Smith at the 36-yard line. Alex Wilson makes the tackle. Now you can play true college fantasy football with real player names, and it's free only at collegefootball.cbssports.com. 3rd and 10. Tim Hawthorne is in, so also Ben Tate. Again, Brad Lester not playing so far today, and we don't expect to see him. Normally shares the running back. And the waving continues. That's Timmerman, number 64, backup offensive lineman. 3rd down. Across the middle. No! Great catch. No, they say he did not contain control. Hawthorne. Tim Hawthorne, number 13. Eric Berry defending.
Tim Hawthorne is actually the tight end in this look. Now watch Hawthorne come off. He's really lined up as a tight end, but always in the slot. Berry gets just a piece of him, and Hawthorne almost came up with it as a one-hander. I think Berry's hand on the hip just a bit there made it impossible to catch that ball.
Fine call by the official, and Hawthorne a little exasperated. That brings on Clinton Durst, and Gerald Jones is back to return it. Number 4.
Booms it.
Beauty. Jones, there's one man down, and he avoids him. Now with the chance to get some yardage. But he's caught in traffic and down at the 21-yard line. That's a 52-yard punt for Clinton Durst. 10 on the return. Eric Smith with the tackle. Time call. Nova. We are back in Auburn. Let's get down to Tracy Wolfson with a special visit.
That's right, I'm with Peyton Manning. And Peyton, tough times at Tennessee, but your first year, the team started out slow, able to make it a season. So what advice do you give them?
Well, we sure did that year. Same thing happened to the team last year, and the best advice is to listen to Coach Fulmer. He knows how to get us out of this situation. He's done it before, and the players just need to listen to what the coaches are telling them, do the things they've been practicing, and just execute. So we can do it. We have the ability and the players to do it. The players need to answer the challenge.
Let's just watch it play.
All right, Trace, we'll get back down to you a second. 1st down and 10. Crompton backs in the eye. Take the reverse, handoff up the middle. And it's Arian Foster. Back to Tracy.
Peyton, you know firsthand when things don't go well, the quarterback gets a lot of the criticism. Jonathan Crompton struggling. What did you talk to him about?
Well, I just encourage Jonathan just to try to play a 60-minute game and just to stay in control of his emotions out there. He's an emotional kid. He's a tough kid. I think sometimes he kind of lets those emotions overwhelm him. So as a quarterback, nothing wrong with having emotion. You need to be in control. And so I like to see him just use his talents and abilities to kick and throw the ball. He's a tough kid, but just needs to be a little more consistent and maybe just calm down a little bit. So I think he'll do that today. I think he'll be okay.
Let's watch another play, Peyton.
Here's Gerald Jones out of the G-gun formation. And he rips it right side, breaks a tackle across the 45, out of bounds at the 50-yard line. They ran the G-gun formation 6 times last week. First time this afternoon, very effective.
Right. You put Gerald Jones back there and you say, all right, now fake it and run it. That time he actually followed the fake, a very well-designed play, and then the athlete he is makes someone miss. One of the things that Auburn talked about it, and you talked to Paul Rhodes, the coordinator for Auburn, he says, we're a very good tackling team. We don't miss a lot of tackles. That time they did.
Jonathan Crompton back in at quarterback after the 22-yard gain. Brandon Warren's in as the H-back now. Here's Crompton, near side, got it. Pretty play. That's Austin Rogers, number 21. Only his second catch of the year, and it's good for 14.
Well, that time Jonathan did exactly like Peyton and his coaches told him to do. Use your quick feet, make an accurate throw. I mean, it sounds real easy. It's hard to do, obviously. But when you're the short passing game that Tennessee likes to use, that's why it's effective. When you're accurate, it can be deadly.
Crompton under Josh McNeil, 1 setback. That's Arian Foster. 2 wideouts, 2 tight ends. First down and 10. Foster breaks a tackle, keeps his balance, and gets down to the 25. And let's get down to Tracy and Peyton one more time.
Peyton, you like what you're seeing out there. Play analyst for us. What do you think so far?
Well, I think we're calming down a little bit, and we're just executing. I mean, the past 3 games and our 2 losses, we're just making little mistakes that are very correctable. Bonehead plays, unsportsmanlike conducts, calling the wrong signal or the play, whatever, just miscommunications, kind of things that'll get you beat. So if we can correct those, we have the talent, we have plenty of ability to win the games in the SEC. And like I said, Coach Fulmer knows how to get us out of the situation. The players just got to listen to him.
Thanks a lot, Peyton. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy. Play action. Crompton deep right side. He's got Jones. And there was a mix-up and 2 men covering Gerald Jones at the 2-yard line.
Well, again, that's man-on-man coverage, and it was a bust. It was a wasted play. You've got atop of your screen, 2 receivers, 2 defenders, man-on-man. A chance to throw the ball up and make a play. Either the receiver ran the wrong route, the quarterback threw the wrong route, but no matter what, it's a wasted play.
Crompton now 3 of 10. Foster is alongside Jonathan Crompton out of the Asheville, North Carolina neighborhood. Second down and 10. 7-3, Tigers lead the Volunteers. Blitz. Crompton right side. He's got a man open. Josh Briscoe, his 4th catch of the year. Zach Etheridge with the tackle.
Well, there's been some good throws by Jonathan Crompton, and there's been some pressure and then some miscommunication throws. I think he's really missed one wide open throw that he could have had right over the middle. That one right there to Gerald Jones. And then you don't know what's happening. Good tackle that time in the secondary by Etheridge. It really saved the first down. It was a one-on-one play.
3rd and 3.
Here they come again. Bump and run. You got to get rid of it, Jonathan.
Max blitz. He does. Near side
Another
adjustment.
busted play.
Yeah, it sure was.
Another busted play. Josh Briscoe runs a comeback. Jonathan Crompton runs a takeoff. And on top of that, the ball was thrown 5 or 6 yards out of bounds. Bottom of the screen. One-on-one coverage. There's a rule. Either we continue with the route or we come and break it off. Look at the ball fall out of bounds, and the receiver breaks it. You can't waste plays in any league, let alone on the road in the SEC.
That brings on Daniel Lincoln for his 2nd field goal attempt of the day. 35 yards out. Lincoln up. Good. So Tennessee climbs within 1. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after Philip Fulmer catches a break and we get a word from your local station. It's a nice note. Mario Fannin is the deep man now. 7-6. Chad Cunningham will kick off. Scoring drive, 79 yards last week against Florida in that 30-6 thumping. They had a total of 96. Here's Cunningham. And Fannin with Ben Tate in front of him. Returns it right, cuts back left. And gets out to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, good coverage that time for Tennessee. Kept it all in front of them.
Well, last week, the Volunteers had it for lengthy drives, but look what happened.
Yeah, you know, the interception was on a 4th down play, and that fumble was a train wreck, you know, and
yes.
And they had the touchdown late. They're running the ball better in this game, though. You know, I mean, you run the ball against Auburn. That's quite a chore.
79 yards for the Volunteers so far. Eric Smith is in the backfield. Todd's off to a great start throwing the ball, 8 out of 10. He hands this to the freshman Eric Smith. There's a flag, and I'll bet you this one's going to go north.
Well, you can't fault the player on that one. I mean, you know, you got an aggressive lineman coming in there and trying to make a play. And if it was a face mask, I don't know what it was. It looked like it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Now remember, last drive Auburn had the holding penalty start out. Nothing happened. Now the penalty goes the other way. You know, that's a big, huge difference. I think you got, horse collar.
You know
it could have been. You're right. Horse collar. We heard from the truck. They said it might have been a horse collar, and they were right. Ben Martin was the guy coming in. But what can you do? You're coming in a mile a minute. Somebody's trying to block you, and you reach out, try to make a tackle. That's just an unfortunate play.
Ball moved out to the 43-yard line. 7-6, Tigers lead it midway through the second. Todd, caught by Dunn, spins out of a tackle, then lowers his head. Robert Dunn, number 3, with a touchdown catch that gave Auburn a 7-0 edge. Nevin McKenzie makes the tackle here. Take another look at Chris Todd to Robert Dunn.
Well, Chris Todd's been nursing a bad arm, and he says he's not 100% strength back, but he feels he can now make all the throws. Looks pretty confident in there, and Tennessee has not been able to get the pressure on him so far with the 3- and 4-man rush.
Eric Smith gets the handoff and then gets nothing. Nailed for a loss of 1, perhaps 2. And it's that time of the first half when we say cue the duck. Aflac. The Aflac trivia question of the week. And here it is. Which SEC teams began the season with 2 conference losses and still reached the championship game? Pretty good question. One of these 2 will have 2 losses, obviously. 3rd down and 5. Todd, 9 of 11. Right through the hands of the receiver, Rod Smith. And it will be 4th down.
Now, the ball was a little high, but catchable. And you expect your best receiver, your number 1 receiver, senior Rod Smith. Boy, a little high as in maybe 3 inches high. Looking at it again in replay, that ball was like strike right down the middle and should have been caught by Rod Smith, and that's going to force a punt.
That brings on Clinton Durst, who's a redshirt freshman, won the punting duel with Ryan Shoemaker in the fall. Shoemaker, all he did was all SEC last year.
Yeah, but he played last week, and he had a bad punt at the end of the game.
True. This is a good one. Bounces
that ball 20. Needs to be caught.
Yes.
Those are 10 important yards down there. That should have easily been caught by Rogan. That really cost you. From the 15-yard line down to the 5-yard line, those are important yards.
Take a look at Rogan now waiting the punt.
Yeah, he waves it off real early. He could have come up and been aggressive, and Fair caught that.
47-yard punt. Well, you heard Peyton Manning say, listen to the head coach. Let's go on the last drive.
Yeah, a couple miscommunications on plays, and you have the old coach after a couple miscommunications say, come on, Jonathan, hang in there. Stay in there. Concentrate, do the little things. It's a long game. Like Peyton said, we talked to offensive coordinator David Clausen on the phone. He said, Jonathan's got a lot of skill, but he isn't following through. He's kind of losing his concentration through a long game. He's not used to concentrating for 50 and 60 plays.
Here's Crompton under center at the 5. Worst starting field position. for Tennessee in the ballgame. Fumble in the end zone. Auburn touchdown.
Guess who it is? Arian Foster.
Oh, my.
I don't know if that was poor placement or what, but it's inexcusable. That's about as simple as a play as you can get.
Last week, when there was a fumble at the 5-yard line, the blame was placed on Jonathan Crompton. Same two on a misconnect. Let's take a look at this one.
I tell you, it said he hit his elbow. Let's see if Arian Foster got his elbow up high enough. The quarterback's job is to take your eyes and look at the spot you want the ball to go to and put the ball on that spot. Let's see if a lack of concentration, if we were talking about it with Jonathan, caused the turnover. A terrible unforced error coming out from your own end zone. Yeah, that was, look at Jonathan did not look the ball in. He was giving it a fancy fake, and the ball never got there. I don't like, I'm telling you, I would not drive around with Arian Foster. He's got bad voodoo here. He's got bad things happen to him. I feel sorry for the guy. That was inexcusable by your quarterback on the 5-yard line.
All right, last week, these two, Foster on the left, Crompton on the right, a fumble at the Florida 5-yard line. This time, a fumble at their own 5-yard line.
Well, let's take a look again. See if Jonathan doesn't take his eyes off the pocket. He surely does. It's your job as a quarterback. That's a big enough pocket to get the ball there. You put your eyes and the football right on the 2 and the 7. That's your job. Now, we've all made those mistakes. You know, I mean, so now you got to fight through it. There's nothing you can do but fight through it. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you in blue. I'll tell you that.
Morgan Hull will kick off. The kickoff catch made at the 3, far sideline, out to the 25-yard line. It's Dennis Rogan. Well, any pivotal play like that, worth multiple looks. We'll take another gander at it from behind.
Coming out from your own side. No penetration this time. Fairly well blocked. It's not going to get you 15 yards, but it's going to get you off the 5. Now, remember, they had to run that play because it's kind of like consequences. Everything has a consequence. You don't make a fair catch, the ball runs down to the 5. You got to go short yardage.
Montario Hardesty is the running back behind Crompton. Well, interesting. Here's Crompton. Play fake, rolls right. He's got a man right in his face. The catch is made out of the backfield by the tight end, number 88. Again, we were talking with Dave Clausen last week about Crompton, and he said he needs to get his pre-snap information into a post-snap application.
Right, there's David right there, the offensive coordinator. Yes, that's the words, and I think even as much of that, and then after that, he needs to, and this is the hardest thing, I have to admit, concentrating through a whole game. If you just lose it for a minute, worry about something else, you forget some of your fundamentals, and it costs you. It costs you big at that position.
Gerald Jones.
Blown up.
Yep. Crompton was under center.
I'll tell you, Antone Carter, number 45, might not have made the tackle, but he sure blew up the play. Number 45 is at the bottom of the screen right down here. Watch him go inside and just blow up the play that time. That's what caused it.
Loss of 1, 3rd and 3. Carter and Antonio Coleman share that defensive end spot. And now 3rd and 3, 14-6. Auburn leads under 6 to go, first half.
Tennessee definitely needs a first down here.
Crompton batted back.
Short pass again. Derek Marks, and you know that this has been the game plan. They watch tape. What did Paul Rhodes tell us? They throw a lot of short passes, right? He told his guys, just bat it back. This isn't a tip pass. This is the second one that has been batted right back in his face. They're trying to go. Look at Marks get up and make the play. Marks has got so much experience. A 2-year starter.
Well, spent some time with Derek Marks yesterday, and Edison Stitch is talking about his basketball career in high school. Here's another very short punt. Dunn will let it bounce.
Oh, wow.
Oh, was that dangerous. It took a little golf hop backwards, and Cunningham, a 32-yard punt. Britton Colquitt, of course, is serving a 5-game suspension. He comes back at Georgia, last year's quarterback. And it's time once again to welcome the Duck. And the answer to the trivia question, which SEC teams began the season with 2 conference losses? 2001 LSU, 2002 Arkansas. Aflac trivia question for the week. Cody Burns is in at quarterback, and he is primarily a runner, as you are seeing.
Yep.
There's no one quite as popular in any form of football as the backup quarterback.
And you got to wonder, you don't never know for sure who makes the change, but sometimes I believe Tuberville just likes this run game, punt game, defense game so much. He might have been the guy to do it.
Ben Tate gets the handoff from Cody Burns. Well, let's set this up for you. The 2 men were Chris Todd and Cody Burns were in an intense competition for the starting job. Todd came in as a transfer from Hutchinson Community College. Tony Franklin tried to alternate quarterbacks, and then he said that's not working. So the team, the coaching staff rather, made a decision to make Todd the starter, and Burns has not played in the last 2 games.
Yeah, now here's what I would worry me. Going under center with another new quarterback.
Second down.
Fake the wrong way.
Yep. He is elusive.
Man.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. We talked to some of his teammates yesterday about Cody. Is he down? Will he be ready? And they said to us, his philosophy is, if I get back in there, I might never come out. And that's how you got to look at it.
Robert Dunn made the catch, and now looks like a pre-snap whistle and a flag is thrown. Well, Cody Burns, a junior. False start against Auburn. Backed up Brandon Cox. He's from Fort Smith, Arkansas. And everything we've read, he handled this the demotion very, very well.
You know, I'm just thinking back, if you're Tennessee, that was the second pressure of the game for Tennessee. It's almost like when it rains, it pours. Oh, you know, I mean, we finally pressure the guy, and he runs out of 2 tackles, and he makes a big play. Just nothing seems to be breaking right for Tennessee.
This one's run all the way, and Tate with a fine block gets Burns around the corner. Ben Tate, number 44, put a plug on somebody from Tennessee. Alex Wilson, number 35.
So, you know, the Tennessee coaches and Coach Chavis go, come on, we got to put some pressure on the quarterback. So we get pressure on the quarterback, make a tackle, no, make another tackle, no, and they spin right out of it.
Second down, 12, 4:10 to go in the first half. Blitz up the middle. Burns across the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Tommy Trott. He was defended by Adam Myers-White.
I think that's one, if you're Tony Franklin and you're Auburn, you're saying, come on, Tommy, you know, we got a young quarterback in there who's not a great thrower. Help us out here.
Mario Fannin is back on the field. He's wide to the right side. Third down and 12.
Again, now, you know, everybody's kind of familiar with this now. You fake a snap and then you look over and you get the play, and Tennessee's aware of it now, so they change up their defense. We're right back where we started.
Blitz. Burns caught. First down, Auburn. Mario Fannin, number 27. Demetrius Morley with a tackle, but only after a gain of 16.
How about the pass protection for Auburn on this play? Nothing. No one in his face, allowed to dump it off, and then again, as a defensive coach, third and long like that, you say, throw the short pass, let's make the tackle, still get the first down.
On first down to the 20-yard line. Let's go back and look at that pass protection, Garrett.
Yep. Different type of protection. The offensive lineman in the spread back straight up. They don't slide out, but a nice pocket made right there for Burns. They've been under center more in this game than they have probably the whole season.
Absolutely. Tate. Well, what was it Tommy Tuberville said? Ultimately, we're putting in this new offense, the spread with Tony Franklin. But he said, ultimately, I want us to look more like Oklahoma than Texas Tech.
I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't mind looking like Oklahoma either. They got the best offense in the country. And what Tuberville was saying is we have to be able to run the ball downhill. Here comes Tennessee. They're coming after Burns on this one. Now, a quick wide screen here might work because they're going to come at you. If you pick off one of those man players, you could get a big play.
3 spread to the left, 2 to the right. Burns, again, good protection. And that one, Montez Billings right through his hands. Well, Tony Franklin spent the last 2 years as the offensive coordinator for Larry Blakeney at Troy. Told us yesterday it took him 6 games at Troy the first year. You see they were 1-4 to open the season. And look at the improvement over the last 8. He thought they were making progress. But this is not the offense that we saw in the first 2 games.
Well, now remember, those stats are a little bit deceiving because Troy plays the SEC teams their best competition early also.
Right.
They play the Florida, and then they get back in their own competition later.
On 4th down, the field goal attempt.
Boy, that's another miss.
No good.
Missed a 22-yarder against Mississippi State. That's a big miss.
West Byram misfires. Just hooked it. So 2.5 to go in the first half of play. Still 14 seconds. SEC football on CBS. Coming up, the Geico halftime report. We'll go back to Tim and Spencer in the New York studios, get you caught up as the season well underway in college football. Already today, if you did not hear, Houston Nutt and Ole Miss go into Florida Field, and they knock off Florida 31-30. By far the biggest loss, only the second loss for Urban Meyer at the Swamp.
Yeah, but it opens it up again. I mean, if Tennessee can win some games, they're back in it now.
You bet. 1st down and 10. Auburn 4 down, handoff up the middle. That's Arian Foster, number 27. Well, Arian Foster, last 2 years against Florida, some difficult moments. There was a fumble, and that was last week. This one was, rather.
I tell you, neither one. Those 3, the one today and those 2, I don't put any of those on Arian Foster. Now, the UCLA game early, yes. Penn State game, yes. But those 3, no.
2nd down. From the back, they got Jonathan Crompton. First sack of the day. Only the 3rd sack yielded by Tennessee and the offensive line this year.
Bottom of the screen right here, he's just going to flat out beat Ramon Foster, number 78, out of the screen and back into the screen. That means you're fast. When you go out of the screen and come back in. One of the criticism of flopping your offensive line like Tennessee does, the tackle lines up to the right and the left. They flop the line is you don't get enough reps on one side for pass protection.
Saw the graphic. Excuse me, Gary.
Go ahead.
Only 4 sacks all of last year. Here's the quarterback draw. Crompton. Boy, he is nailed.
Timeout, Auburn. Auburn should take a timeout. They are. Good strategy by Tuberville.
Chris Evans and Michael Goggins were there.
And you talk, I think this is a call that says, get me at halftime. If you're Tennessee, I'm not letting you throw down here, Johnny. You haven't earned the right to throw down here.
Chad Cunningham on to punt for Tennessee on 4th down. Robert Dunn, who has 1 punt return for a touchdown this year at the 40-yard line. And, of course, Cunningham had 1 blocked against UCLA, returned for a touchdown. And last week, Brandon James went 78 yards for a touchdown. They go for the block and do not get it, but very close. And Dunn will let this one limp to a stop inside the 20.
Yeah, good job by Cunningham getting that one off. He was under pressure.
That's a 56-yard punt. Monday, don't miss the show TV Guide calls the season's best new comedy. Worst Week, Monday. And that's after 2.5 Men on CBS.
Coach Fulmer might have said it might have been, can I get in there for Worst Week?
Yeah, do a guest shot.
Yeah.
Cody Burns remains at quarterback now as Philip Fulmer calls on his defense with 52 seconds remaining. Ben Tate also on the field.
It'll be conservative.
There you are. Went for the punt block, didn't get it, and the result a 56-yard punt. So I don't think they'll doesn't appear they're going to use either of their timeouts. Tommy Tuberville.
And I don't. Do they have to snap it one more time? It looks like they may have to snap it one more time. You might even want to just take a knee.
Yep.
Hard to take a knee at home, Vern. You know that? You get booed at home. On the road, nobody cares. It's better just to hand it off. You don't get booed. Oh,
boy.
Snap.
Yes, they did. Under center.
I tell you, they don't. There's not a lot of experiences with snaps. Now, if you're Tennessee, do you take a timeout and force a punt?
Well, they'd have one more play.
Well,
look at this.
Oh, my. See, a knee would have been safer. What does that do, handing the ball off?
Did you ever get booed at Purdue?
No, but I made up with it for the Lions.
Let's go down to Tracy with Philip Fulmer.
Coach, watching you on the sideline, obvious frustration with Jonathan Crompton. What is he doing wrong? What could he do better?
No, John's played okay. We've missed a couple signals. We missed a couple of opportunities. That's it. That thing in the end zone that's what I'm upset about. You know, giving a good team points. That's hard to overcome.
You talked all week about limiting mistakes. How do you make sure they do that in the second half?
You just keep working at it. Keep encouraging them.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
And the big mistake came on the attempted handoff from Jonathan Crompton to Arian Foster. The fumble bounced into the end zone. Jake Ricks, the defensive tackle, with the fumble recovery and the touchdown. 14-6 Auburn at the half. Let's go back to Tim. The SEC on CBS. We welcome you back to Jordan-Hare Stadium. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson. Tennessee trails by 8 as we open the third, 14-6. And the last touchdown for Auburn, the result of a botched handoff between Jonathan Crompton and Arian Foster at the 5-yard line, recovered in the end zone. Now Mario Fannin back to return Chad Cunningham's kickoff as we unfold the third quarter here at Jordan-Hare. Nice one. Fannin backs up, and he will take a knee 9 yards into the end zone. A moment ago, Tracy Wolfson with Tommy Tuberville.
Coach, up 14-6. You made the switch at quarterback. Why?
Well, we look like we're standing around on the sideline in the stands. I'm trying to get something going. We're playing dead on the offensive line. You can't have that many illegal procedure penalties, holding penalties. We shoot ourselves in the foot. Defensively, we're playing pretty good, but we're still not stopping the run like we need to. We didn't play very good the first half. We're going to need to play better to win it.
Will you stick with him the rest of the way?
Well, I don't know about the rest of the way, but he'll come back, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you, Tracy. And Cody Burns does come back to open the third quarter. Tucks it, runs right, tackled out of bounds at the 20-yard line, so no gain for Cody Burns, who is seeing his first action in the last 3 ball games. Are you surprised that Tommy Tuberville pulled the trigger on that?
I wasn't until he said that, to tell you the truth. I think he's right. The crowd feels dead. I don't know if it's maybe they're not used to the spread after watching all the football here. The offensive line seemed to be out of sync, and he's looking for a changeup to put some life. Now, Chris Todd had a good first half, but I guess he's looking for more offensive line play.
Here is the snap to Burns. Flips it out to the right side, left side rather, and the catch is made, but only a 2-yard gain. Robert Dunn, number 3, made the catch. How about the halftime trends?
Well, like I said, Todd did pretty well. 9 for 12. Not a lot of yards. Kenneth Dink had the nice touchdown pass. Burns came in, had that nice scramble. Jonathan Crompton, that just shows half the story. So many miscommunications on pass. Ricks gets the fumble recovery on the missed exchange. And then Auburn's defense again shows on third down how good they are.
3rd and 8 here, Tennessee's defense. And there's Cody Burns hauled down for a sack at the 17-yard line. Ben Martin, the sophomore defensive end, Number 99 made the tackle, and 3 and out for the Tigers to open the third.
You can see Burns does not have the same sense and timing in the pocket. He should kind of realize now that that's about all you got. Sack comes around the outside, and Martin comes in and makes a play. Tennessee, that has to just look like gold for Tennessee. Front four getting a sack against a quarterback.
Clinton Durst on the punt. A little bit of pressure applied by the Volunteers. Gerald Jones grabs it and is dropped at the 36-yard line. They might spot this at the 35. Nico Thorpe, an outstanding freshman defensive back, down to make the tackle. 44-yard punt. Cody Burns sacked by Ben Martin. Volunteers have the ball, 1st and 10. We're back at Auburn. Let's take a look at Home Depot's tools for success.
And here at Auburn, the tools that have been working for Tuberville the last couple years has been this dynamite defense. The defensive line did their job in the first half. They pressured. Remember, in that second half against LSU, they gave up 296 yards and 23 points. Gave up 6 in the first half. That's that defense that Auburn has been riding in the success for Tuberville in the SEC.
Crompton sacked once, hurried 8 times, knocked down 6, and of course had the botched handoff that resulted in an Auburn touchdown. Here's Crompton near side. The catch made by Lucas Taylor. That's his first catch of the day. He is the leading receiver, number 12, for the Volunteers of Tennessee. It's a little more simple on the defensive end of things. They don't have 4 guys with semaphores.
Right, exactly. And that 11 you saw, that's a personnel. That means 1 back is in the game, no fullback. 11 means a tight end and 1 back, and there you see it.
On 2nd down. Looks like Auburn might blitz off the corner. They do come. Flag down. Crompton, low, incomplete.
I think it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, though, and it's going to be maybe even a first down here. It's like Auburn was in the neutral zone to me.
Matt Austin, the referee, is going to share the information right here.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Tommy Tuberville, in his 10th season at Auburn, 4 years prior to that at Ole Miss. He was an assistant at Miami, wound up there as a defensive coordinator out of Southern Arkansas. Told us yesterday he's celebrating his 30th full year in coaching. First down, 10. Fake the reverse, handed up the middle, and not much there. Well, the 5 members of his and his coaching staff, 5 men, his position coaches, you see them, Dunn, Grand, Knox, Nall, and Price, have been with him since the beginning at Ole Miss. But look at the bottom line. From 1995, 11 different coordinators, 10 of them have been changed here at Auburn. Most recently, 2 changes this year. Paul Rhodes now at defense. Tony Franklin, the offensive coordinator. 2nd down and 9. 3 down for Auburn. Here's Crompton with a lot of time. Good coverage downfield, and he is dropped. Sacked at the 46. It's going to make 3rd and 10. Send Derek Martz.
You know, sometimes you just make a good defensive call and the play's not going to work for Tennessee. Paul Rhodes only rushes 3 players, mean there's 8 back. There's really no one to throw. Just look at it. No one to throw there, no one to throw back here. There's nothing Crompton could do but get it back to the line of scrimmage and go to 3rd down. That was a great defensive call, and give it to the defensive coordinator. He might even last a couple of years.
3rd down and 10. Auburn leads the country in 3rd down defense, and they've been excellent today. And that trend is going to continue. They came in having allowed only 7 of 60 3rd down conversions. That's 12%. And for the day now, Tennessee is 1 for 8.
Yeah.
LSU last week, and I know you argue, well, some of those guys offensively weren't that great. But LSU was 4 of 14 last week.
You're right. And even as well as they ran the ball, they didn't do it on 3rd down for LSU.
So you weren't impressed with that 0 for 15 against Mississippi State?
going to have to check film again.
Do those pickets hurt that you're sitting on?
Well, 3 for 12, 3-2 game.
I know. It wasn't a thing of beauty.
Got to let that one go.
And he does. Nice.
Good stop, though. That's the strategy. You got to play the percentages. It didn't work out that time for Auburn.
Cunningham puts it inside the 5, and the Volunteers had 6 men down on the coverage team. Timeout. Beautiful campus here at Auburn University in the heart of Auburn, Alabama. Coming up, the 5-star play of the game. Here's Old Main. This university began in 1856, and Chris Todd is back in at quarterback. They'll run the gun, and he is 2 yards into the end zone. Ben Tate is alongside. Now they'll look over at the side. And the 4 guys are issuing their signals. Here's Todd from the end zone deep. Oh, no. That looked like a shot put.
Yeah, he did struggle with that throw. There's no doubt about that. Let's look at this now. A lot of talk about the clock, Vern. Last year, we went through and averaged out the SEC. I threw out the top and the bottom, the whole league, kind of ice skate. This is an honor of you, figure skate.
Gotcha.
140. This year, the conference is averaging 130. In the first half, the 2 teams combined ran 63 plays. So they're pretty close to 130 plays. That's about what's happening. We're getting 10% less plays this year than last year because of the clock.
Here's the snap on 2nd down. Pressure comes up the middle. And the catch is made by Tommy Trott, but he's tackled at the 6. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Rico McCoy, number 5, so it's 5-on-5. Looks like a basketball.
Yeah, good defense again there for Tennessee, forcing that short throw. And, Chris Todd told us that his arm is 100% back for throwing.
You don't believe it?
No, I mean, I hope not.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, it does not. He does not have a quick release at all right now, and it looks like Vern, you were right. Looks like he's pushing the ball.
Tate gets the handoff and goes left on 3rd down, and it'll be 4th.
Yeah, it's not going to work. Nobody believes Chris Todd is going to keep the ball. So how can you run the zone read when the whole defense knows not going to get the ball? I'm going to hand it off. There's no use staying with it. Defeat the blocks up front. Right now, Tennessee defensive line is push. I think Tuberville's exactly right. They are pushing around this Auburn offensive line.
That's 3 and out for the Auburn offense with Cody Burns at quarterback, followed by 3 and out with Chris Todd at quarterback.
See if they can maybe force a bad punt or get a punt return for Tennessee.
Clinton Durst, looks like the return is on, and Gerald Jones, that's a poor punt. It does get a bit of an Auburn bounce, but great field position for the Volunteers now as they take on a little squabble, breaks out back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, nice no call by the officials right there.
Looked like Eric Berry might have been involved with that. Volunteers have the ball. They trail by 8 with 8:28 to go in the 3rd. Jordan-Hare Stadium tomorrow on Face the Nation, a CBS News exclusive. Senator Barack Obama one-on-one with Bob Schieffer. Face the Nation. That is tomorrow. Wonderful newsman he is. Bob Schieffer. 1st down and 10. At the 44-yard line in a 14-6 game midway through the 3rd. Crompton, handoff, Lennon Creer, number 3. He is the 3rd tailback used today. Let's go down to Trace for an injury update.
Guys, 2 Tennessee injuries. Starting defensive end Wes Brown out with a right knee sprain. On the other side of the ball, backup Vladimir Richard, the most versatile of these Tennessee offensive linemen, re-injured his right knee. He hurt during last week's game. Both are out right now, but are available if coach wants to use them.
All right, Trace. Wes Brown is Jonathan Crompton's roommate. Spoke with us earlier this week about the frustration that they both felt last week after that humiliating loss at home. Pump fake, mix up again.
Oh, great
that
play.
is about the 3rd time.
No, Vern, I gotta back him up this time.
Okay.
They tried a hitch or a slant and go, and Gerard Powers read it beautifully and didn't bite. He did a little pump fake. Watch down at the bottom of the screen. Receiver's going to go hitch and go, and Powers stops him before the ball is thrown. Can't do any better than that. Just can't do any better than that. Try to set it up, and again, the Tennessee receivers are not scaring anybody from Auburn.
Gerard Powers, we were told by Paul Rhodes, pound for pound, the best player on this defensive 11. Here's Crompton back on 3rd down. Arian Foster's going to be caught short. It'll be 4th down. What do you think?
Well, the way the two defenses are playing right now, I'm punting the ball.
Are you?
I mean, the touchdown, it should be 7-6. You gave them one.
Right.
So I'm saying let's punt the ball. Maybe they'll make a mistake and give us one. This is starting to look like an Auburn football game, to tell you the truth.
Well, they've got one in the books earlier this year. They won 3-2 against Mississippi State. Robert Dunn is at the 10-yard line. Cunningham planted the last one at the 5. Goes to the right corner. Looks like a dandy punt.
Nice one again.
Oh, my goodness.
3. 2.5.
How about Cunningham? He's been in the spotlight for all of the wrong reasons in the first 3 games. But that's back-to-back great punts inside the 5. The offensive group for Tennessee over on the sidelines. The defensive unit is out confronting an Auburn team that has first down at the 3 coming up tonight. What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I love Alabama's toughness. I love Georgia's versatility. Hey, one guy runs the ball, one guy stops the ball very well. Georgia, sometimes that's good. Winners lately in this conference have been getting a lot of penalties, and both have been able to win on the road. I'm ready to watch it. That's what I think.
First down, Auburn. They lead it 14-6 midway through the 3rd. Todd in the end zone, goes deep left side, almost picked off, but instead it's complete.
He just lobbed that ball, too. My. I thought that one ball was going to get picked off here. First of all, he hangs well in the pocket. Good protection up front. Watch him just lob the ball, and I thought Tennessee had a chance. 2 guys had a chance to get that one. See, that's where Barry or somebody could make a game-changing play.
Here's a quick toss. Tate coming right.
Nice fake.
Oh, my! Out to the 28-yard line. D'Angelo Willingham, number 24, made the catch, but back-to-back plays now, 11 yards and 14 yards.
Adams Meyer White, number 48, should have made this play. He gets stopped and beat one-on-one, and then Tate is able to get his shoulders turned upfield. See, that's where you say, okay, force him back inside if you're going to get beat at all, and he allowed Tate to get outside him. That broke the defense down.
Mario Fannin out of the slot to the left, catches the ball, and that is a trio of plays in excess of 10 yards. Let's go back to Tim Brando for the Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
Vern, here's one of the few highlights for last year's Heisman winner Tim Tebow today, and the Gators lost to Ole Miss with his touchdown pass to Percy Harvin. It too could have been picked. Tebow showing perhaps, though, not as damaging as USC's Mark Sanchez this past Thursday night in Corvallis. Sam Bradford of Oklahoma, no Sean Marino of Georgia. Big test tonight.
I didn't see Chase Daniel on that list, and he's got to be in anybody's conversation right now. Eric Smith with the run. Robert Ayers, number 91.
Chase Daniel reminds me of Drew Brees. Same type of size, and from to listen to that report on him, you go to practice, his ball doesn't land on the field. I went to 3, 4, 5 practices for Drew Brees, and it was amazing how accurate he did when he threw the ball around.
Looks like we might have we won't might.
That works.
Took a couple of English classes a few years ago.
How about that? 3 first downs coming out on their own 3.
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you, Vern, you know what I really believe, too, is why this offense isn't roaring for Auburn, and I bet Tony Franklin's a little frustrated. The more I watch Chris Todd, the more I think he's not 100%.
I agree. Well, they were 3 and out, and now they've picked up 3 quick first downs.
Here comes the corner blitz right off the slot right here, it looks to me. Yep, here he comes.
And he's got a cover of Ben Tate coming out of the backfield. Now Todd chased to his left, tucks it and runs, and he's hit out of bounds.
He's going to get flagged for it, too.
Oh, yes, indeed. There comes the flag.
I think had he not launched himself, he might have got away with it. If he'd have shoved him, it would have been all right. But when you're launching yourself around the sideline, especially on a quarterback, so you know he's going out of bounds here. That's just a dumb play. As Peyton Manning said, we're killing ourselves with bone. What did Peyton say? Bonehead?
Yes.
I'm gonna grab that one. Bonehead. I'm gonna take that from now on.
Following the play, dead ball, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Gerald Williams, in his first season now, had some eligibility issues that cost him a couple of years. And that one.
Yeah, it was obvious. I mean, the quarterback had declared he's going out of bounds. Sure, he might have had his foot in bounds, but that's the way they call it. I mean, you know, you watch tapes, so the officials come by, they show you what they're going to call. That was an easy one.
And a first down at the 45. Auburn leads at 14-6. Here's the toss to Tate again, coming right. And
that was not a prayer on that one.
That's a couple of yards. Bolden and Gerald Williams again with the tackle in at middle linebacker. Second down. Tigers have moved from their own 3 to the LSU 44. Now Todd out of the shotgun. Young man who started his career at Texas Tech, redshirted, played 5 games, decided to transfer. Here he throws left, and that one close to being picked off. Intended by Tommy Trott. And it was Nevin McKenzie who was defending. Third down. Cody Burns got in late in the second half, ignited the crowd with a quick run for a first down. Started this half, but 3 ineffective plays from offense, and Todd came back in.
You know, after watching this offense, what did Tony Franklin sold this thing for almost $3,000.
Yes, the Tony Franklin system.
He has one more game like this that's going to be for sale in the dollar store. I'm telling you that right now.
Third down. Up the middle comes the rush, and he got pushed off to the side. Intercepted. This is Dennis Rogan, number 41. He is still upright.
Just robbed it again. He got away with it coming out of off his own goal line. Just lobbing the ball. You just can't throw the ball down the middle like that with these safeties that late, and just kind of lobbing the ball down the middle. Now, you know, Chris may be throwing it as hard as he can, but as you look back right here, this ball is going to be in the air for a long time. Here it comes in right there. Rogan is reading it. It's like, you know, he's a kick returner.
Right.
That was like catching a kick.
Rogan's interception returned 38 yards, and the Volunteers with a first down now at the 37-yard line. Arian Foster is the running back. Jonathan Crompton comes up under his center, Josh McNeil. Foster, no. Senderic Marks with the tackle, number 94.
You know, look at Tennessee. They started out the game, burned 7 out of their 10 first rushes when they ran the ball, went for 4 yards or more. Their last 9, not one of them got 4 yards. I'm surprised they don't go back to the G gun. I really am.
Yeah, they've only run it, what, a couple of times today?
Effective.
Right. The G gun means Gerald Jones in the backfield. Second down and 10. Foster is caught and dropped. Antonio Coleman, number 52.
2 straight plays. The front 4 for Auburn wins the battle. There he is right there, number 52. Watch him win the battle. That's uncalled for. You've got senior tackles that have played a lot of football in the SEC, and you get a whiff. You get a total whiff.
3rd and 14.
They're 1 for 9 on 3rd down. What do you call? Well, you know what you're going to get. 3-man rush in a zone.
Crompton has to tuck it, and how about that?
Look at that, right up the gut of it.
Gerard Powers hit him high.
He made it. He made it.
I think he did get the first down.
Nothing downfield. Nobody to throw to. This time, Jonathan Crompton doesn't dump it off for nothing. He takes it up and sells it out. Now, that's when you got to sell it out. I mean, when you're going for a first down, you can't slide. And he was right on that one.
Gain of 15, Crompton. Tennessee at the 26.
Here comes the blitz package from Auburn now.
Hand it off left side and pick up 2 yards. Well, make it 1. Short of the 25. Clock shows 2:40 and running. Second down.
You know, one of the reasons I think Tommy feels that it's a little dead here, because he just came off that LSU game at night, and it was so electric that to him, this one feels dead to him.
Gerald Jones in the backfield. Here's the G-gun on 2nd and 8. He has not thrown a pass out of this formation.
Says he can throw, though.
He ducks it, comes left. Well, he certainly can run, can't he? Great block. And the elusive Jones goes down the far side and fights for yardage near the first down.
That's amazing.
That was Foster with the block on Michael Goggins.
Now, it's been 2 busted plays in this drive for Tennessee. The scramble by Crompton, and this play should not have worked. Remember when we had him on the phone on Tuesday or Wednesday? Look at this dodge. We asked Gerald, I go, Gerald, who can step up around here? You know, you keep calling it Arian Foster's team or this guy's team, blocks all over. That's when those cutbacks happen. He goes, you know, I've challenged all of us to be the go-to guy. He just did it.
3rd and 1. Hardesty is the running back. He gets the handoff and goes right. First down, Tennessee inside the 15, flag down.
Yeah, it'll be a face mask.
Josh Bynes, number 17, with the tackle.
That should get it down to about the 6 or 7 yard line, 1st and goal.
Personal foul, face mask. 17 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Hardesty does a good job going north and south on this. There you see it. Helped make the tackle that time. And there it is, about 6 or 7 yard line. Now, this is the 6. This is reminiscent. Right to left, 1st and goal.
Saw this last week. Is that what you're suggesting?
We don't have number 27 in, though.
It's Montario Hardesty. Hardesty gets the handoff. He is hit behind the line. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Josh Bynes, number 17, who has played extensively today, got the start instead of Trey Blackman, and we've not seen Blackman on the field much at all.
No, Bynes did a nice job staying home on that, but the miscues killed him last week.
Last week, 3 turnovers, 2 in the red zone, 6 points. Off turnovers were allowed. 9 penalties a week ago. 2nd down and goal here.
Be a pass, won't it? No.
No. Handoff, Hardesty. 3rd down, just inside the 2. Bynes and Zach Etheridge. 17 and 4.
They're going to let this quarter end. It's such an important play. With the mistakes that were made last week, if I was doing it, I'd call them back to the sideline and get everyone on the same page. Good job by the Tennessee staff.
Not that it's all that significant, but those volunteer fans who are here are in the end zone to which they were going. Now they're going to go to the other end. As I said, it's...
Well, I mean, it's nice to go into your own guys, but they were going into their own guys last week, and it didn't work, right?
Very good point. That's quite astute of you. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score 14-6, we'll return to Jordan-Hare Stadium right after this word from your local station. Welcome back to Jordan-Hare for the 4th quarter, 14-6. 3rd down and goal for Tennessee. It all began with this Dennis Rogan interception from Chris Todd. Stepped in front of Montez Billings, returned it 38 yards. A broken play, third down. Crompton sold out, went for 15 yards and a first down. And then Jones, Gerald Jones, out of another broken play. A scramble that gave Tennessee new life. They now face third down just inside the 2. And Montario Hardesty is the deep back in the eye. Kevin Cooper is the fullback. Toss, Hardesty, Cooper in front. Hardesty for the goal line. Got it. Touchdown Volunteers. Peyton says let's go for 2.
Tennessee runs the toss sweep just as well as anybody in the country. It's funny. It used to be Auburn who ran the toss sweep as well as anybody in the country, and this is what they went to this time. And Hardesty gets it down the corner. You have to go for 2 here. You don't have the possessions like in the past. No reason not to. The only bad thing that could happen is if you don't make it, the other team scores a touchdown, you're down by more than 8.
Taylor and Jones to the left side. Briscoe wing right. This is Jones in motion. Crompton back into the flat. No good. Catch made, tackle made. Walter McFadden, number 6.
Tried to run a rub play where Jones hides behind the 2 receivers. But boy, nice job coming to make the play. Jones rubs out to the sideline, gets through the 2 defenders, and makes the tackle that time. That's the way you do it if you're McFadden. Toss sweep, just get around the corner. That ball needed to be turned in a little quicker, but Hardesty's speed just kind of outran the pursuit. Good call on third down.
Tennessee back on the boards. They're within 2.
And now it's time for our Geico scoring recap.
Auburn got on the board first. It was Chris Todd with an 18-yard pass to Robert Dunn. That made it 7-0. Next up for the Volunteers, Daniel Lincoln, a 47-yard field goal that made the score 7-3. Lincoln followed up with one more field goal, the 35 yards out, 7-6, and the big play of the first half. It came in the botched handoff. Crompton and Arian Foster recovered by Jake Ricks, the defensive tackle, for the touchdown, 14-6 at the half. And then the try for 2 after the last Montario Hardesty touchdown toss, and we stand at 14-12. Hardesty with that toss to the left side.
Yeah, you know, Tennessee defense, I was saying they need to make a play to turn this game around, and the 2 punts down there inside the line, and then Chris Todd, who started out well, 8 for 9, but has really slowed down, 3 for 7 lately with an interception. Todd is really struggling, and you know, when he comes to the bench, he's playing catch every time.
Cunningham with the kickoff. Plants this one into the end zone, muffed, and the decision made to go to one knee by Mario Fannin. So Auburn will start out at the 20-yard line.
Well, let's see. You know, I mean, this Auburn offense has done nothing, basically. You know, a couple passes completed, but it had not been for the gift from Tennessee for the touchdown, you know, they hadn't done anything versus this defense all game.
Chris Todd is the quarterback, then Tate the running back. First down at the 20. Here's the toss to Tate, comes left, out to the 30-yard line.
A little toss sweep that was actually fumbled against Mississippi State when Auburn was trying to put that game away late, has been their only play to get outside if they don't have the other quarterback in the game, and you know, they don't have any speed. They're having trouble running it without Burns.
Tate gets it left side again out to the 35-yard line. Let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, this game between Texas and Arkansas, steep in tradition, will go away next year because Jerry Jones bought a matchup between Texas A&M and Texas. And Jordan Shipley, look at this, a 7-yard strike from Colt McCoy. And Arkansas has been outscored 94-17 in the last 7 quarters.
Yikes. Here's Todd going right. Fires it to Montez Billings, who is knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Again, what strikes me about the spread is, I don't even know if you're allowed to say this. It's like, you know, you can't be a little bit pregnant. I don't think you can be a little bit spread. If you're going to do the spread, you got to throw the ball.
Right.
And I just don't, you know, you can't hide a quarterback. You got to, if you're going to go to this offense, you got to throw the football. You got nothing else.
And this one's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down, and there are some murmurs of discontent among the 87,000 here. Tony Franklin came in to replace Al Borges, and Durst is on to punt. Well, to say that it's a work in progress is to point out the obvious. Boy.
It's not producing what it was designed to do when Tuberville hired Tony Franklin. Fast tempo plays. They're trying to get the best of both worlds, and it won't work.
Clinton Durst on to punt. 14-12 in the 4th quarter. Return is on. Nice high kick by Durst, and the catch made.
Set it up.
Gerald Jones. He's got 2 blockers down. Cuts inside. Great field position for the Volunteers. Tackle made by Robert Shiver.
Well, Gerald Jones said somebody's got to be a playmaker. It might as well be me. And he's been the guy to do it. They're almost in field goal range.
Jordan-Hare Stadium bathed in the late afternoon sunshine here in Auburn, Alabama. 87,451. Looks a little bit from that perspective like a certain stadium in Athens, Georgia, doesn't it?
Sure does. Same style, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen Brandon Warren on any of those little sharp bootlegs or anything. We're going back to the G-gun, though, aren't we?
Indeed.
Compton's down here.
They've never passed out of this formation. And they still have it. And Jones is hauled down by Josh Bynes, number 17, the middle linebacker. Well, a pivotal game perhaps for Tennessee. For Philip Fulmer, they've turned it around before. In 1994, they were off to a 1-2 start and finished 8-4. Same thing happened. They were 2-3 in 2000. And then most memorably last year, 1-2 start. Humiliated by Florida, they wound up in the SEC championship game.
If they got a play for Jones to throw, this might be the time to do it.
3 down for Auburn. They'll bring 4. There's the throw.
Yep.
And it's dropped. Oh,
my. They had it set up, too.
Wow.
See, the thinking for me, and Clausen was right with me, is that you feel the field goal can beat you. So the Auburn defense is going to be very aggressive, and they're going to want to stop it right now. So now's the time to throw. That was a good enough pass, and you can see, took his eye right off it, did Lucas Taylor.
Lucas Taylor drops it. It's 3rd down and 10 with 12:43 to go.
56-yard field goal from right here. Might be a bit outside his range. Here they come. It's all man. Get rid of it quick. Quarterback
Compton
draw.
keeps it. Goes left. 4th down.
Very tough to run the quarterback draw when you're outnumbered on a blitz. They just have unblocked people, and you ran right into the teeth of it. You're going to have to punt.
Chad Cunningham on.
See, everybody's up there in the picture. Everybody's within 3 yards of the football, and you've got unblocked Auburn defenders. You know, kind of a shot in the foot there when they dropped the screen pass. That was the best call of the series.
And so Cunningham is on to punt. Twice he has planted it inside the 5-yard line. That's Dunn, who's waiting at the 10. And a fair catch called at the 11.
Nice play by Dunn there.
So 3 times in this half, Tennessee has started drives inside Auburn territory. They've only come up with 1 touchdown, and Auburn leads it by 2. Time permitting, we'll go back to New York for the TIAA Craft College Football Today program with Tim and Spencer. Ben Tate, the running back. Excuse me, Gary.
Nope, the old coaches of the SEC, Nealon and Dye and all of them, would love this field position game it's been in the second half. Tennessee has controlled the field position.
Sure have. They've gotten really effective punting from Cunningham, who, as we mentioned, has been in the negative spotlight for the first 3 games of the year.
You know, last week against LSU, Chris Todd threw 32 times, and coordinator Tony Franklin said we should have thrown it 10 to 15 more times. And he really kicked himself for being too conservative at the end of the game. Let's see what he does here, because Auburn's only had 3 first downs in the second half.
Here's that toss to Tate.
I don't see how that works.
There you go.
I don't see how that works.
It'll be 3rd down. Dan Williams, number 55. Here's Tony Franklin, high school coach in Kentucky for 16 years. Got a job with Hal Mumme at the university, running back coach, offensive coordinator, the whole staff fired. He was out of coaching for a while, wrote a book, came up with the Tony Franklin system, wound up selling it for a lot of money to various high schools around the country, and he's now in his first year here in Auburn. Vandy and Georgia tied at the top right now. Vandy with a week off. Georgia has Alabama tonight. Kentucky out of conference. Florida defeated by Ole Miss in Gainesville. So with a victory, Tennessee right back in the thick of it. Out west, Alabama undefeated. So also is LSU. Auburn, that 1 loss. Ole Miss with a huge win today. Arkansas looking very troubled so far.
Yeah.
And Mississippi State not thrilling anybody yet. 3rd down. There's that little shift. They look over to the sidelines where the 4 guys on the sidelines. Looks like they're landing fighter pilots or fighter jets on an aircraft carrier.
The 3-man package from Chavis. Looks like they're going to bring 4, 5.
And across the middle it goes. Robert Dunn with a catch, but he's way short of the 1st down.
Yeah, that's like a zone blitz. It's a very, very safe blitz. You rush 5 and you play zone behind it.
So 3 first downs for Auburn in this half. 50 yards total offense. 50 yards.
Well, they wilted against LSU with that battering rushing attack, but here they just seem to be floundering on offense.
Each of the last Tennessee possessions has begun inside Auburn territory, and Gerald Jones back to return the punt. He awaits it at the 39-yard line of Tennessee. Clinton Durst, return game is on. Nice punt, but a chance for Jones to return it. He grabs it at the 30. Struggles out to the 43-yard line. 51-yard punt. 14 on the return. Tennessee defense playing very well today.
Well, Vernon, the open night challenged the Tennessee defense to try to find a way to help a younger offense with a new quarterback, and they have. Now, they haven't faced a powerhouse here, but they've been up to it, okay? And then sooner or later, one of those fine defensive secondary players was going to catch one of those change-up over the middle, and they got an interception.
Jonathan Crompton for the day, 8 of 18, 67 yards. He'll throw it to Gerald Jones. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
You know, last time Tennessee went 3 and out. That, 3 plays and a punt. And they're one of the worst in the country in 3 and out plays. They came into the game 116th in the nation in 3 and outs, and they've had a few in this game.
Well, they lost their first game in overtime at UCLA. In that game, they had 9 3 and outs. 2nd down. Hardesty is the running back. Handoff right side. It's Lennon Creer instead, and he struggles out near the 47-yard line.
Yeah, but a nice push at the end of that play by Creer. You know, that extra 2 or 3 yards is going to make it really much easier to call a play on 3rd down. Watch, hit there, and then he drives it for another 3 yards. That's going to make a big difference in this call on 3rd down.
Good job of ball security as well.
Yeah.
3rd down and 4.
See, he was hit in front of the 45-yard line, and he made it out to the 48. That's huge.
Auburn as good as it gets in the country on 3rd down. Foster is the running back. Crompton out of the gun. 3-man rush. Drop 8. Go deep. Incomplete.
Well, you know,
Yes.
just what David Clausen is doing right there, that's what I'm doing. Like, what's the deal? I mean, it's 3rd and 4. You can't throw it away or throw it 10 yards out of bounds. If you don't have it, try to scramble. I mean, we're going to punt anyway. You can't throw it 3rd and 4 out of bounds. 5th, 3rd and out of the day. Did you see? Wasn't I doing the exact same thing?
You were, yes.
I was like,
you know, if you had had one, you'd have been in a lazy boy.
yes. Beautiful punt. It's going to get to the end zone now, isn't it?
Yeah. Touchback. Now you saw Dave Clausen, the new offensive coordinator in his first year, the former
remember,
head coach at Richmond.
Excuse me, Vern. It's 3rd and 4, and that ball landed 10 yards out of bounds. If it's not there and you're covered, they're only rushing 4. Now look where this ball goes. I don't get that. See, I mean, you can't throw it away. I mean, I hope he was throwing it away. Good God.
He's talking to Dave Clausen right now.
Yes, I'll bet.
I'm telling you, it's cheerleader distraction. It'll get you on the road.
No, not when it's 14-12.
1st down and 10. Ben Tate goes right. Flag.
1st down
Tate
penalty.
Is nailed by Demetrius Morley, number 7, holding.
Probably those stretch plays are so hard to block. It takes so long. I think it was Bosley 68 that got it that time.
Offense 68. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat 1st down.
It's so tough, especially if you know the quarterback's not going to keep it and run the other way. That defense is just going to pursue the running back. No one's going to follow Chris Todd. So it's a tough one here. You don't have confidence in the quarterback's arms. Secondary for Tennessee is very active. Try to find a play call here.
Tennessee looked a little discombobulated defensively then. Here's Todd. It's incomplete. 2nd down. Intended for Chris Slaughter, number 23. There's Cody Burns. The plan at the beginning of the season, when they opened the season, was to rotate the quarterbacks. And Tony Franklin said, I thought I was smarter than every other coach who's ever tried to do that. He thought I could pull it off. It didn't work, so Franklin said, we're going with Todd. Cody Burns did not play in either of the last 2 games, but he saw action late 1st half, early 2nd half here. Tate, handoff. And as they get ready to punt again and the murmurs continue, we go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, a pretty important game in the Big Ten considering the USC loss. Michigan was down 19-0 to Wisconsin. Well, they've cut the deficit. Brandon Minor, 34-yard run. It's now 19-14. The Badgers were one of those teams looking to move up.
All right, Tim, thank you. 3rd and 18 at the 12. Tennessee brings 4. They stunt. And here's Todd going deep left side. That one's tipped and incomplete. And Auburn will punt. Intended for Dunn. Defended by Nevin McKenzie, number 20.
Not much you had here. This is when you really got to hope your receiver can help you out. You're throwing against a lot of coverage. Everybody knows it's going to be an 18-yard throw, and McKenzie goes up and makes a nice athletic play here.
I like your mention earlier about Robert Nealand and Shug Jordan. I think they would have liked this one.
I think I said Coach Dye, but I'll take Jordan.
Yeah.
They're all about the same.
And
you got to figure Tennessee's going to get the ball here. Pretty good field position.
Way up in the air, but quite short. And Jones is going to let it bounce. And it comes back to the 45-yard line of Auburn. Now the Red Lobster Company presents today's scholar athlete, Jason Bosley, who's already graduated. He did so in December with a major in business finance and a GPA of 3.13. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown by donating $1,000 to Auburn University's General Scholarship Fund. Jason Bosley gets a rest now. First down and 10, Tennessee trailing by 2, 7:35 to go. Hardesty is the running back. He gets the handoff and cuts it up the middle, a little spin move, and he's to the 40-yard line. Spencer Pipa, excuse me, Gary, made the tackle.
It's one of those games now where who's going to crack and make a big mistake. I mean, it just looks that Auburn now has challenged Tennessee to throw the ball. They're moving 8 and 9 men in the box.
Mike Blanc, number 93. Hardesty and Cooper in the eye on second down. Hardesty. Nope. Each of the last 2 seasons, Philip Fulmer's team has lost to Florida, but look at his record following a loss to the Gators. That one loss was back in 1994, 6-1 SEC record after the Florida game. 3rd and 4.
See Coach Fulmer looking up at the clock. 6:30 to go. He's starting to think forward here, what you got to do. How far do we got to get for a field goal? Should we go for it on 4th down? A lot of decisions now.
Arian Foster is the running back. They've got a bunch formation to the right side. Here's Crompton back. Has time. Fires it low. Incomplete. 4th down. And again, Josh Bynes has been very active defensively, number 17. Now then, what do you think? 4th and 4?
I'd punt it the way Auburn's playing offense.
Yep.
Or whatever way you want to look at it, that ball had really no chance of getting there. Auburn's had total of 65 yards in the second half. I'm punting.
That is the 6th 3 and out for this Tennessee offense. 4th down and 4. Cunningham on to punt. Dunn waits for it at the 10. They go for the left corner this time. Oh boy. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Yes. Volunteer got into the end zone. And so it will come out to the 20-yard line.
Well, it's the ball in college football. It's not the player. So let's check where that ball went. The player can be in the end zone. Did it break the plane? Yep, it broke the plane. Good call. You look at that official right on the line trying to peek there.
Well, the roar means Cody Burns is back at quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think they have any choice. I really don't. I mean, even if he has to throw and you lose the game, Chris Todd just doesn't have enough strength to penetrate this zone defense.
Burns will run on 1st down, but not far. Back to the 20. And Rico McCoy got him by the ankle.
Yeah, we've been calling him a lot, haven't we?
Yes. Cody Burns for the, Chris Todd, I beg your pardon, 14 of 23, but only for 93 yards. And he seemed to push the ball, favoring an injured shoulder quite often. 2nd and 10. Tennessee with 4 down. Here's Burns.
Nowhere.
Nope. 3rd down. Walter Fisher makes the tackle. 87,451 on hand. Late afternoon, a Saturday in September. Jordan Hare and the Tennessee Volunteers trail by 2 to the Auburn Tigers. The key play in the game right now, late first half. A fumble from Jonathan Crompton, attempted handoff to Arian Foster at the Tennessee 5-yard line, recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. And field position has been all Tennessee in this half. The entire second half has been played inside the Auburn 50-yard line. 3rd and 11. Burns comes left. It'll be 4th down. Rico McCoy. Let's take you back to that play of the game in a sense of deja vu for Volunteer fans.
Yeah, remember, I mean, you know, you got 14 points in the game, and 7 of them come on a handoff from Tennessee. So the Tennessee defense has stopped the Auburn offense, and the Auburn offense has stopped the Auburn offense. If you're going to put a guy in at quarterback, you got to let him be a quarterback. And Cody Burns was very upset coming to the sideline saying, if you're going to put me in, let me play.
3 running plays, 3 tackles, 4th down. Durst, nice high punt. And the catch made by Jones. Good downfield pursuit, but he slips the tackle and is up near the 46-yard line before he's forced out of bounds by Robert Scheiber, the snapper. Let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, want to update you on that Michigan game now. Watch this. They've erased a 19-0 deficit. This is John Thompson returning this Allen Everidge pick. 25 yards for a score. The 2-point conversion failed. 20 unanswered, though, for the Wolverines. This with the Badgers in position with Ohio State at kind of the Camp Randall next week.
Cam, you've made Tracy Wolfson smile down on the sideline, the Michigan alum. 1st down, 10. Lennon Creer, number 3. He is the speediest of the 3 backs, but he doesn't have enough speed to make much forward progress here. The tackle from Antonio Coleman, number 52. 3:41 to go.
It looks like that Auburn is so sold out to stop the run now that it's going to take some kind of bootleg or play action pass to loosen up. Now remember, new clock rules. The clock is rolling. You go out of bounds, it's restarted again.
Until the last 2 minutes, absolutely. 2nd down. Crompton play fake. Under pressure, incomplete. It was Josh Bynes again. Boy, he has been an active participant defensively.
And there was the play. It was set up. It was a perfect call. Had the receiver wide open to the outside, matched up out there on a freshman. Ball was thrown a little high to the inside, but Burns was right into Crompton right there.
3rd down. 3:19 to go. Crompton, a really ineffective day throwing the football. 3 men down for the Tigers. They're going to bring 6. Crompton pulls up and lets it go. Man coverage, and it is incomplete. Nico Thorpe, number 15, was covering Lucas Taylor, number 12. 4th down. Tennessee has 2 timeouts left. Auburn all 3.
Nico Thorpe was beat on the play, but you can face guard in college, and there wasn't a lot of contact there. I agree with that call. The ball was slightly behind and nothing happened. Another punt.
7 3-and-outs for Tennessee.
Played right into their scouting report, didn't they?
Cunningham on to punt again. This one end over end, bounces at the 20, takes a Tennessee roll, and here we go again.
I don't like one guy back, and that's the main reason why I don't like it. It's like a 20-yard gain back there because they could not get to that ball and let it roll.
This one seems appropriate. Thursday on Survivor, can one tribe redeem itself after 3 tough defeats? Emmy-winning host Jeff Probst is back with a new episode of Survivor Thursday on CBS.
Think about this, Vern, versus LSU. Auburn had the ball with 5:32 to go, leading 21-20. They ran a safe handoff for nothing, a safe short pass for nothing, and a safe handoff for nothing, a 25-yard shake punt, and they lost the game. What will they do?
Here's Tate on the handoff, and he's cut down after a gain of 1. Clock shows 2:53 and running. Again, Tennessee has 2 timeouts left, and Tate is injured. Ben Tate. And another look at the injury. So Tate down, the medical staff out at the 7-yard line. Another look.
Yeah, he got hit right on his right thigh, it looked like to me.
Time has been called with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go. We'll step away. Ben Tate able to walk off the field unaided. Looks like he's going to hit. Is he going to go back on the field? Yes, he is. So that's good news. Tennessee with 2 timeouts left. Auburn has 3. Philip Fulmer's team has played this entire second half inside the 50 of Auburn, and it's 2nd down and 8. Cody Burns is the quarterback for the Auburn Tigers.
They switched Fannin for Tate on the play.
Yep, Mario Fannin.
And it's going to be 12 men in the huddle, isn't it? Even if you don't huddle, that substitution is going to be called. That is an unfair advantage to the offense over the defense. They'll call it.
Illegal substitution, 44 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal, still 2nd down.
See, once he aligned like that, they had to make the call.
See Tate come on,
yeah,
and then Fannin comes on.
Fannin's walking in. But watch Tate line up in the huddle position, lines up, and now Fannin stops at the slot, and then he goes back. That's an improper substitution. You're going to get called.
Half the distance, so it's 2nd down 11 at the 4-yard line.
Well, this is a disaster for Auburn's offense in the 4th quarter. I'm pretty sure they do not even have a 1st down in the 4th quarter.
That is correct. Now we got a little continuing conversation going on here. Matt Austin, anything to tell us? No. Yes.
Because the previous play was a running play and TV took a timeout, the clock will start on the ready for play.
I thought it was a called timeout. Was it an injury timeout? So it will start.
So that one's on us. 2nd down. Mario Fannin in the backfield.
Under center. Remember, he bobbled the last one at the half.
Fannin caught, slips the tackle, comes left, cut down at the 10. It'll be 3rd down, about 5.
Got to use your timeout, and Coach Fulmer does. It's a nice run by Fannin here. Could have been stopped for relatively no gain here. He keeps his balance, run through Eric Berry's tackle, and gets it out where at least if nothing happens, they can get a good punt out.
The injured player is Alex Wilson, the linebacker. He's down at the 10. His helmet came off. And so another injury timeout. It'll be 3rd and 5 at the 10 when we come back. Alex Wilson, the middle linebacker, assisted to his feet, holding his right wrist. Oh boy. Another look at it. He's down at the bottom as he makes the tackle on Mario Fannin. So the starting middle linebacker of the Volunteers walks toward the Volunteer sideline.
Well, here we go. Neither offense has been able to do anything the second half. 1 first down. Obviously, you figure if you're Auburn, you can win the football game. It's 3rd and 5. You got your backup quarterback in the game.
And now Tennessee calls timeout. That timeout was called by Tennessee, apparently.
I don't.
Matt Austin just indicated timeout. Tennessee, yes. Oof. Pass is complete for the 1st down. Just as we came back, Cody Burns found Montez Billings in front of Nevin McKenzie for the 1st down. A gain of 10, the first 3rd down conversion for Auburn in this half.
Yeah, salute to Auburn. You know, if you're going to win a game, you got to go for the win. And right there they said, you know, you're playing quarterback, Cody. You got to make the throw. They sprinted him out, and they made a great pass to the sideline. That's how you got to win a football game.
And now timeout has been called again by Tennessee. This, their final timeout.
See, here's where the rules were huge. Because it's over 2 minutes, they were going to start the clock again.
clock to 2:04. 2:04.
And there's no 2-minute warning.
Right.
So Auburn could have run it all the way down for 40. Forced Philip Fulmer to take the timeout, even though they were out of bounds on the play. If that play would have happened at 1:58, he could have saved the timeout.
And a moment ago, here was the play. Burns from the end zone as he was about to get hit.
Yeah,
And
great
Montez
throw.
Billings, yep.
Great throw. Montez Billings now should really stay in bounds. Gets kind of knocked out of bounds. So, yes, play good is going to get stopped to set the chains, but they were going to wind it, and that would have cost Tennessee 40 seconds. Heads-up play by Phil Fulmer, knowing the rule.
And a really great example of the impact of that new rule.
Yeah, that
right there.
That terrible new rule, you mean?
4 seconds. And had it been under 2, as Gary said, then the clock would have remained stopped on first down. But Tennessee is now out of timeouts. Ben Tate into the arms of Robert Ayers. 14-12. The difference in this ball game was the fumbled snap, or the fumbled handoff. Crompton and Arian Foster recovered for a touchdown. Tuberville's team trying to go 4-1 and win 4 in a row over Tennessee. The Volunteers trying to avoid a 1-3 start.
Yeah. You know, after you win 3-2, this is like a blowout. 14-12. Put your subs in, you know, in basketball. It's garbage time.
Years ago, I used to have to do the Amos. I used to get to do the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl in Phoenix City, Alabama. He would have appreciated this.
This is another thing that's new to college football. You got to count it up different because of the 40-second clock. You know, you can kill a game much earlier than you could before with the 25-second. You know, really, when after a minute 40 left in the game, it's over if you have 3 downs.
And it's going to be third down here with 50 seconds to go.
Here you go, Auburn. Let's go.
124 or 5 total plays. So it's right on from where we were. 140 last year, 130 average this year, and they're at 124-25 now.
Auburn, despite 0 offense, I mean nada, in the second half, hangs on and wins it by 2. Because the Volunteers couldn't generate much offense, even in the face of great field position in that second half of the ball game. Let's go down to Tracy, who is with Tommy Tuberville.
Thanks, guys. Coach, not pretty, but a victory nonetheless. How important was that coming after the loss to LSU last week?
Well, we had a hard time getting them up all week long. You know, after losing that game last week as hard as we played, you know, we knew we was going to have to win this game on defense. We're not hitting on all cylinders on offense. We're making some progress. We're just not there, but I'm proud of the effort. Our guys really played hard.
What has been the trouble with this spread offense?
Well, just making too many mistakes. We had 2 holding penalties and 2 false starts early, and then the second half, you got to give their punter credit. He kept us in the hole all night, and we couldn't open anything up. But we were going to live off our defense, and it worked. Pretty good game plan out of the coaches.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now it's time for the DirecTV player of the game, the middle linebacker, number 17, Josh Bynes. 11 tackles, 6 of them solo, 5 assisted. And he had only 9 tackles in the first 4 games. Bynes got the start in place of Trey Blackman tonight and played very, very well. And now it's time for the 5-star play of the game, presented by Wrangler.
This is the play. There's no doubt about which one it's going to be.
5 worst starting field position for Tennessee in the ball game. In the end zone. Auburn, touchdown.
Guess who it is? Arian Foster.
Oh my. That fumble and the recovery, subsequent recovery by Ricks, is the difference in the ball game. 14-12. The Tigers win it. Tennessee goes to 1-3, 2 losses in the Eastern Division of the SEC. Auburn makes amends, though, boy, it was a struggle. That's it from Jordan-Hare Stadium on the campus of Auburn University. For Tracy Wolfson, Gary Danielson, I'm Vern Lundquist. Tim Brandel.